Okay, so I was doing some shadow work, and if you guys are new here, I'm Shikirah and I'm an intuitive healer, and I still need to do my update on my intuitive healer journey, like the 80-day plan, but I am fully embodying it now, so I'm just gonna talk from here, and we're just gonna see where this goes. So, in this moment, I'm doing shadow work, and I felt the need to come through and actually talk about some of the things that I am releasing because I hope that this can help other people. I was journaling and pulling some cards using my pendulum, and the things that came up are interesting. And has anyone been feeling like they've been holding on to ancestral trauma? Because when I was doing my shadow work, I was initially talking about the business. Like, I was talking about how can I, get back on track and like really continue building the foundation of my business. I'm currently on my menstrual cycle, and I would say to myself that like I am not necessarily doing readings for others in like the first couple days of my period because I am primarily clairsentient. Like, I do use a lot of the other clairs, but I feel a lot when it comes to my readings for people. And when I'm going through my own feelings of my own cycle, that can sometimes get in the way. I realize that it actually doesn't get in the way, but it's all in the prep work to make sure that it does not. But as I am doing more, check-ins with myself, because it's the 1st of August, like the first day of August, what do I want to bring into this month? And I was like, let's just address the areas that I feel lack in, which is this new space that I'm stepping into, because again, I haven't been doing this for, years and years, so it's good to take account of where I'm at. But back to the ancestral trauma. So as I was doing my shadow work, I was journaling about, how can I pretty much continue to, do this business, make it sustainable, essentially be able to help other people while also still being able to, help myself. I like the idea of being financially stable and free, as most of us do, but I also want to make sure that I continue to do, the mission that my soul has been called on to do, right? So I ended up doing the emotion code, and I've done the emotion code a lot for myself and others, but one of the things that I haven't really done with people yet, but that came up today in mine, was inherited emotions, which are literally linked to that ancestral trauma. And I'm just like, I had this thought earlier in the week where I was like, I want to release a lot of the trapped emotions that my family has, held on to, that are no longer serving us. And the great thing about the emotion code and releasing inherited emotions through it is it releases it from you, your siblings, your family. It just takes one person to make the change. And that is the thing that lets me know that it I don't have to wait on everybody to sit here and be like, yeah, let's get it together. Because a lot of the times, these emotions affect us. They affect you. Let's see what's ready to release. So, what I ended up doing was I did a chakra check on myself before, and all of my chakras were open. This is like a general baseline that I use when I am doing readings for people. Is I'll check their chakras. It's easy to work from the place that's already blocked because we can clearly identify what's wrong. But all of my chakras from the main 7, I know there are plenty more, but all of my chakras from the main 7 are open. Let's see what's coming up. I just asked what emotions my body is ready to release now. And the first one was discouragement. That made so much sense. Like, this was my own trapped emotion. This was something that I picked up in this process of becoming an intuitive healer, putting myself out there. I just picked that up because, hey, this is something different. The systems and things that you typically do for a corporate job, they don't work. They might not work here. So, hey, a little bit of discouragement, we released that, and then I got the feeling of worthless. I picked this up around the same time I picked the discouragement up, and I released that. Then we got into something different, got into a completely different space. I could tell that these emotions were all things that could have been blocking me from the business aspect. And let's just run through it. I had an inherited trapped emotion of guilt from my paternal line from my granddad. And this was like, we're starting off small. We're starting off with the family that I know in this lifetime. Like, let's release these emotions that I picked up without even knowing. Because I don't need it. I don't need it. And I'm ready to let it go. So then I released it. And then we got to some more inherited emotion. Like the layers, we were diving deep in this. So vulnerability came up. And this was interesting because when I went to go get a tarot reading in Chicago, I got a card from her that was vulnerability. Like, she let me keep like 2 cards, and one of them said vulnerability. I want to actually go get it. I'll be right back. So this was a card. It was vulnerability, and the affirmation here was vulnerability is my strength. And that was significant because in the reading itself, there were a lot of maternal, there was a lot of maternal energy, a lot of feminine energy in there. And I feel like my gifts, my process, the reason I'm even helping people has been led a lot by my maternal line. And guess where vulnerability was? It was in the maternal line. So that trapped emotion of vulnerability was inherited. It was from the maternal line. And with this, you can dive in to see, how many generations back was it? It was 10 generations back for me. It was 10 generations of the women in my family line, my maternal line, just holding on to vulnerability where they probably had to feel like they put a wall up and they couldn't be who they really wanted to be. They couldn't be themselves. They had to block off a sense of their true light because of whatever circumstances. And I am so thankful today that I can be who I am unapologetically, but just seeing how those emotions are just stuck and they carry from person to person to person. There's a thought, things are passed down, emotions passed down, stories are passed down, culture is passed down, trapped emotions are passed down. So I just want to bring this up. If anybody is trying to figure out how to release that ancestral trauma and you don't really know where to start, the emotion code is a great place to start because it's easy. You don't have to actually dig too much. All I needed to know was which side and how many generations back. And that was it in order for me to release it. And the thing is, it releases from me, my moms, my grandma, my siblings, everyone that is in that line, it releases it from. Especially if it is an inherited emotion specifically. I'll put that out there. If it's inherited, it releases it from everyone. But it's this process is so easy, where it's why not try it? Because you literally have nothing to lose. And I've done this so much with just my own trapped emotions to the point where it's now my body is ready to release inherited emotions. Because I've been doing the work on myself, and it takes a minute. For everybody may be different depending on if you're working on a particular issue. For me, I'm working on a business issue. I want to release whatever is mentally, emotionally blocking me from really stepping foot into the business side. I love the healing work. I love to be able to help people step deeper into themselves, but I also want to be able to sustain a living off of this stuff. So I don't want to be blocked by the fact that we all have to live, pay bills in this world. So, you know, there's still a human aspect of this we gotta address. But this process is just so easy. Like, to dive into some more trapped emotions, frustration, like, was inherited maternal line 10 generations ago. So whatever was going on 10 generations ago, and I was just like, I haven't even done like the calculations to figure out like what grades back that is and time frames it could have been in. But there were a lot of about 10 to 15 generations ago in my line, and I know as an African American it could be attributed potentially to slavery. So it's just like, hey, there's a lot of stuff there that we need to unpack, but right now I'm ready to release some certain things to get me moving in the direction of today's life. So yeah, releasing that low self-esteem. Low self-esteem was interesting because this one was in both of my lines. This was in my maternal and paternal lines. And this one was, I myself don't have low self-esteem. And I have absorbed emotions of low self-esteem. Like when I'm around people and they have it and I have picked it up, I've released it. But this is interesting that it's an inherited emotion, but I don't exhibit it, but it's like it's still there. So what I like to see this as like something that ebbs and flows. Like you might naturally have this dormant within you, and the moment that you kind of get an inkling of it, you awaken that dormant, you know, energy in you, and you kind of like is there. I'm like, I can tell that discouragement and worthless energy, that low self-esteem, it seemed like it can wake up and want to attach to that, and now you feel compounded with this stuff. So that was kind of how I pictured it. But again, since it was on both lines, I had to check and see how far generations back it was on the paternal and the maternal side. So on the paternal side it was 9 generations back, and on the maternal side it was 8 generations back. And when I released this, I felt a warmth in my chest. Like I felt the release of this emotion literally in my heart, where it's like it's like I could take a breath. Like I don't have to feel put down. I can shine. Like that's what it felt like. It felt like I can shine now. All that, it's like a flashlight. It's covered up with a little bit of dirt and dust. It's like that's just been wiped away, and now you can fully shine. You can see its light. You can see all the beauty. That is what that felt like. And then I had some more interesting ones. Lack of control, prenatal. So before I was born, but probably around like conception, but this was before I was out there into the world, you know, completely head popped out, everything. This was absorbed prenatal. Once I released the trapped emotion of lack of control from the prenatal aspect, it literally felt like the veil was lifted off of my eyes and I could see clearly. Like I had clarity. And I've had the trapped emotion of lack of control in many instances pop up, especially like if you're going to do the emotion code and you work on particular issues, there are specific frequencies aligned to these emotions for those particular issues. But when you start diving deeper, or you do general releases, or you just, you know, go into the different categories of types of trapped emotions, you'll probably see some pop up again. And lack of control has popped up for me multiple times in different scenarios. So for it to pop up prenatal, like as a prenatal type trapped emotion, that one was interesting. Like it feels like things make sense. Again, like I said, that veil, it literally just felt like my eyes, like something just lifted off my eyes. It's just like, you can see now. You could see. That's what it felt like. The next one was like wishy-washy. And that was inherited from the paternal side, like 5 generations back. Doing this work, lets you know, like, when you start looking at your family and be like, yep, I could tell that's what they express. I could tell that's what, is held on to. And this is just me releasing it now. I don't know what they feel in their bodies when this release happens. I don't know. I don't know when I go around them, in the future, if things will feel different or they'll start, acting different. I don't know. But I know that I'm doing the work for me and for us all at this moment. When they're ready to do the work on their own trapped emotions, I'm here to support. But the other thing was the last trapped emotion that was inherited that I released was taken for granted. And this has popped up in multiple scenarios that I've worked on for myself and other people a lot. And this one was 15 generations back that this became trapped and just continued to be carried into the next generation, to the next generation, to the next generation. Like these emotions that we have, they're honestly to me they're so fluid because they continue to move. They continue to move, and you have every right, every opportunity within yourself to let them go. And when you work on inherited trapped emotions, in my mind, it's like I'm picturing it like a brick. Like they keep stacking up. Each generation onto the next, they keep stacking up. But here I am with, the bulldozer, the whatever it is to just get that stuff down, get it out, move it, let it go. Because there has to be space for the love and light. We can't keep letting these low vibrational energies that have been passed on to us to continue to rule us. Like, this life that we're building is our own. These emotions that we're feeling may not be our own, and that is when you have to address it and be like, hey, what is my feelings? What is something that I've carried from my mom, my dad, my grandparents, through before them? What have they carried and pushed down to me? Because again, culture is passed down, right? So the emotions are passed down. What you feel about things are typically related to what you've been taught to feel about them. So I find this fascinating because energy really cannot be created nor destroyed, only transmuted. And you don't have to hold on to these things. You don't have to feel bad for letting it go either. When will your life start feeling like your own? For those who are really in the process of working through ancestral trauma, and I'm talking to the people that are working on it specifically, what have you done in your life that truly felt like you and not everything that you've held on to? Not everything that you have inherited that you were not really ready to let go. Because again, it's like we are ancestors. We are everything. Their stories, their life, their love. We are all of that. What are you adding to that? So this has been a very interesting shadow work session that I've had, because the pause card came out reversed when I was doing some more card pulling after I released the trapped emotions, because I had shadow holder and sweeper, and I had love and chance. But when the pause card came out reversed, to me it felt like it is time to get back to work. I have done the relaxing. I have done the moments to myself, but it is time to get back to helping others. So I am ready to assist you if you're ready to let go of those inherited trapped emotions, if you're ready to work on releasing what is no longer serving you from an energetic level, so that way you can enjoy your life in this physical plane. Because just because we are spiritual beings does not mean that this experience in this physical plane has to go to waste. The whole point is to come here and enjoy your time, to really be in alignment with yourself. So if you are ready for that, I have included my booking links in the description. Come get a chakra check, a card energy reading, or a complete energy reading plus a cleanse. Let's continue to raise the vibrations together, because all of this can be fun if you really want it to be. And you don't have to hold on to things that no longer serve you. I thank you all for watching to this long. I thank you all for being a part of raising, your vibration, of being ready to release that trauma, being ready to fully embody your own energy and be you. So thank you. Keep doing the light workers work.